So moving on to our next one, which is Ryman Hospitality Properties. Ticker symbol is RHP. If you've ever been to a Gaylord hotel, this is their parent company. So unlike Empire State, Ryman is not profitable. Ryman's hotels are specifically oriented toward conventions, conferences, other large group events. The one in DC hosts the big ice exhibit every year, just to name one thing. The DC one is actually still closed. They're using this opportunity to kind of renovate it a little bit. It's not a great hotel just for leisure travelers, so they decided to keep that one closed. The other four are open, but for Q3, they were less than 15% occupied. That's better than zero, and Ryman's obviously decided that that's enough that it's worth keeping them open for. But this is not a profitable company right now. They're burning through about $23 million a month. They have that to burn through. They have over 700 million in liquidity. So they're not in a danger zone or anything like that, which is why their stock actually has not done that bad since the start of the pandemic. They also own some entertainment venues. They get their name from the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. They also own the Grand Ole Opry, which had been experimenting with some very, very lightly attended live shows recently, and just got the go-ahead to bump that up to 25% capacity. So that could be a positive going forward. But for now, they are kind of hemorrhaging money. But they've rebooked successfully over 1 million canceled room nights for subsequent years. And Deidre, I'll let you take this because you actually tweeted out a comment by Ryman's CEO about the future of conferences and conventions, if you remember that one.
Yeah. He was Colin Reed was talking about how he feels like the work from home movement actually benefits Ryman a little bit because they're already seeing some companies hold their retreats at the properties, and that's going to continue. If people are a distributed workforce, they will need to get together from time to time, and what better place to do it than at a Ryman property, which is, it would be they're beautiful places to be. So it's a treat for the workers and there's plenty of room. And so he really sees that as something that's going to be something people will be looking at going forward.
I'm glad you mentioned just like how beautiful and iconic these hotels are. They are very valuable assets. They're really one of a kind. As far as, I don't know the DC hotel market that well, but I haven't found anything that compares to the Gaylord National Harbor yet. When you just, in terms of just like all factor when you walk in the door. So conferences are not going to go anywhere. If anything, the pandemic could provide a nice little tailwind because, like I said, in-person work is collaborative. It's good for team building. It's more productive. There are we're on Zoom right now. I love Zoom, but there's value to being in person. When this is over, I hope to be doing a show like this with Deidre from our studio at Full HQ. But having said that, people want to be in person. So for Ryman's quarter, I was pretty impressed with their rebooking rate. I'm optimistic about them starting to open their entertainment venues a little bit. And we'll see if holiday travel benefits them at all. I will say they've done a very good job of temporarily pivoting to leisure travel, especially at their kind of properties that are located in touristy areas. They've been real close to Disney World, for example. That's been their highest occupancy. I want to say it was close to 30% for the third quarter, which is pretty impressive. Ryman's got a big hotels. These are a lot of rooms to sell. So to temporarily pivot like that is impressive. So we'll see if the holiday season boosts them. But I'd give them a B or a C as well for the quarter, I guess, just because they really haven't shown us anything yet. The fourth quarter is when they're really going to start to potentially show us something. So what grade would you give Ryman this quarter, Deidre?
Yeah, I'd say a B minus. The other thing I'm interested in is what they're doing with their entertainment network. It's called Circle, right? Their entertainment network that they're sort of starting to build. So I think that's interesting. There's just a couple of things about about Ryman that make it's a hotel brand for sure, but it's also trying these other things. So it's got just a little bit more than just a pure hotel play to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad you mentioned Circle. They're actually using that to monetize some of these socially distanced concerts that generally wouldn't be profitable. But now they can kind of live stream them and make a little bit of money. So yeah, I'm glad we both agree. A B minus, C maybe.